Welcome to Comicus, the comic book talk show that's a knockdown, drag-out fight between four contenders. We'll be looking at those contenders right now. First up, we have Batman, White Knight, Issue 2. Number 1 with a bullet from Image Comics. I figured the Batman one you'll probably know as DC. Number 1 with a bullet, Issue 1 from Image Comics. Clue! Issue 5. There's only 6 issues total. This is Issue 5 of Clue, based on a board game. And get ready for this one, everybody. Get ready. Batman the Devastator, part of Metal. And I do apologize, the camera that we had that was lovely last week is not working again. I don't know what the heck it is. I wish I did. But we soldier on to get you the reviews. So, okay. So, first up, we are going to look at one of the Batman books. We are going to look at Batman the Devastator. The Devastator. Okay. So, the best thing for me to do, without that of a camera, is to talk a bit and then show it for a bit and then keep talking and stuff. So, that's, I think, what we'll do. So, Devastator is a one-shot, part of the Metal series, which is a storyline created by Scott Snyder, one of the best Batman artists. It's in plastic right now, that's why it's got a bit more of a shine on it right there. It's bagged and boarded, and you'll find out why in a moment. A few moments, actually, not that quickly. So, the whole idea of Metal is that there's evil Batmen, okay? Evil versions of Batman throughout the multiverse, and now they're basically going to converge on what we know as the actual DC universe, and this one's pretty interesting. So, Batman has always had the fear, what if the Justice League went rogue and I had to take them out? So Batman went and figured out ways to take down all the members of the Justice League. Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, the Flash. Just like every member, he found their weakness so he could take them down. And that very much upset the members of the Justice League when they found out. They didn't trust him for a long time, as you might guess. And for Batman, it made sense. But for the Justice League, they were like, this is really scary, Bruce, what you've done. This kind of feeds off of that. So, Batman the Devastator is the idea of Superman, and what if Superman went rogue? Because in one of the multiverses, he does. And he goes and he, I believe he kills Lois Lane. And it's like something's controlling him and everything. And then Batman is actually fighting Superman. And what he does is he infects himself with the Doomsday virus. That's why this version of Batman resembles Doomsday. And he basically starts out with the idea hoping to infect other people with the virus to make them powerful enough to be able to stave off Superman. So, decent intentions that get really warped because the Batman who laughs, which is based off of the Joker in some capacity, we don't know yet. I think it comes out next week or the week after, whispers into his ear about Barbatos and the darkness. That's how most of these issues go. But this one is really well done. I feel that this one was one of the better ones in the series. The Drowned was one I didn't like too much. That was like a female Batman that was more like Aquaman. And I just felt it didn't make complete sense. They didn't really explain it well as to, why he was female. Just that in this world, genders are reversed. So really, less than a sentence to explain something like that. And I was like, is that just because they had the idea and didn't want to follow through? I mean, I didn't quite get it, because most of the other versions of this series have been really good. You know, like Murder Machine, I really liked a lot. That's where you have a digital virus in the form of Alfred gone insane, taking over everyone and everything. That was pretty wild. That's Murder Machine. Red Death is Batman basically taking Flash's powers for himself. And, let's see. Those are probably my favorites, actually, I would say. I think those are my favorites. But yeah, it's been really good. Superman went rogue and Hush when Poison Ivy made him turn against his bro. Superman broke the man code. Do I prefer Batman or Superman? I'll be honest, Batman. I love Batman, but I very much like Superman. I drive people crazy with this. I love the Rocksteady Batman games, but I would love them to do a Superman game. Or Justice League. I would think that'd be fantastic if they did one of those. Okay, so that's Batman the Devastator. That's the first book we're looking at tonight. Second up, we have Clue! With a very, very red cover. Clue's been nuts because there's been like 3 variant covers for like every issue. 3 or 4, actually. So it's fun to try finding any that you're looking for. And even better, if you go to a small shop like I do, the store opened at noon. I got the second to last copy of Clue. So it's not really stocked all that excellently at a lot of shops. I like it a lot. It constantly breaks the fourth wall. And in this issue, Scarlet basically accidentally kills herself. Because she's like, hey, if I'm part of this whole murder thing going on and it's investigated, that'll raise my star up a bit. And I could, you know, sell more albums and, you know, live more of this rock and roll lifestyle, okay? So she was like, that's good and all. But what if I had an accident where I nearly died? That would be even better. Well, she completely screws it up, and she ends up basically offing herself, but I believe it's Mr. Green who gets blamed for the death. And you have the butler, like last time, going and breaking the fourth wall, so far that he actually showed the editor of the comic book when he's explaining what's going on in it. It's an acquired taste. Not everyone's going to dig that. I think it's really cool. And I was not expecting a comic book based on Clue, the board game, to actually be good. But it's been really solid. And like I said, there's only 6 issues. So this is 5. 6 will be out next month, and then it's over. So I'm interested to see exactly who the main killer is. I believe we already kind of know who someone is, but it's not all spelled out as to how and why, and it's really good, though. I like it a lot. So that's Clue, issue 5, and that's from IDW. I forgot if I mentioned that before, IDW. Okay. Next up, we have a number 1. The first issue of a new series, and it is out there, okay? Number 1 with a bullet from Image Comics. I got the last copy of this. Again, store opened at noon. I got there at like 12:05 and I got the last copy. So some shops are only getting in like 2 or 3 of this book. It's complicated. I had to actually go through it twice to fully understand it. I think I understand it now. And basically, it's this character who has these, like Google Glass, special contact lenses that allow her to, I don't want to say jack in, but be part of social media like almost 24/7. And it seems like she can't understand the difference between being in social media or VR augmented reality and real reality. See, she comes across a murder scene, and the reader and her, we aren't sure exactly if this person is actually dead or going to die. And she's witness to someone accidentally falling and killing themselves, which is funny because that same thing happens in Clue. A different reasoning behind it, but there's this whole thing where they're not sure it really even happened, because she's talking about it and she's like, how do we cope and all this type of thing, and no one seems to know what she's talking about. So it's pretty complicated. I like it. I think it's a very interesting book. It's got a lot of elite speak and a lot of like showing panels and like having people like having text messages and stuff. I don't know how I feel about it exactly because, like I said, it was hard to follow. It wasn't Grant Morrison hard to follow, like when Grant Morrison is really on a kick, but it was pretty out there. Yeah, I probably will get issue 2 to check it out. You know, this is interesting enough. The artwork is gorgeous, very colorful, a very vibrant book. So that's number 1 with a bullet, and that is by Image Comics. Image Comics. So, takes us to our final book of the evening. Batman, the White Knight. Okay, issue 2. There's 8 issues total. I believe it was going to be 7, and then they decided to add another issue. This book is crazy, especially if you're a Batman fan. The idea is that Joker is no longer Joker. He has been cured, as he says, and he basically wants to take Batman to task for what he feels is all the ills of Gotham, which is crazy. And he basically wants to make up with Harley and have her join him on this quest, and it's really wild. And he's blaming the police, the corrupt police. It's a whole idea of the 1%ers versus the 99%, all that type of thing. But the whole thing about Joker and how it's handled is pretty fascinating. I like it a lot. So Moon Knight. I haven't read it. I apologize. I haven't read a lot of comics, and I read a lot of comics, but I don't know enough about Moon Knight to say yes or no. Moon Knight was a villain who was cured? I'm a little confused there, Mr. Try. But no, it's really good. I love this series so far. And it's basically a clear-headed version of the Joker who's not evil anymore. And there's this great moment in here where they break down the reason why Harley left Joker in the first place, Jason Todd. And what's interesting about this, it pulls a bit of an... Well, it's 2015, I might as well say it. I'm going to have an Arkham Knight spoiler in just 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. In Arkham Knight, the idea is that Jason Todd isn't dead. It was basically like a Manchurian Candidate type issue where Joker kind of programmed him against Batman and tortured him, but didn't kill him. Well, in here, Harley doesn't know what happened to Jason Todd, and Joker doesn't remember either. So he may not be dead. We don't know, which is kind of an interesting place to be. And yeah, it's basically he's able to convince the city of Gotham and all these other people to let him free because I guess somehow the police had almost no evidence against him. And you're starting to question, like, is this really the Joker? What is going on that they let him free? But it's really well done. And I think it's all going to make sense at the end of the 8th issue. But yeah, that's Batman White Knight. And yeah, this I'm actually really, really big on. I will definitely get the other 6 issues of this because it's awesome. Okay, everybody, those are the 4 books we're looking at for Comicus. So now, basically, we're going to go and say a little bit of information on each book as we actually get to who the winner is. So through the contenders, we'll get to the winner. Let's see here. Batman Beyond Joker Return or something? Yeah, yes. A little different, though, because as far as we know, this is still... Everyone that's seen him believes it's the Joker. So everyone visibly that sees this guy believes it's him. So it's not the same thing as Batman Beyond. there's more going on with that. But yeah, Return of the Joker was cool, though. I like it. I like it. So, next up, we're going to go into the order of the books in which they win. One moment here, everybody. Understand, though, the order is only based on the final one is the winner. It's not saying, like, the other books in a specific order. That I'm not actually doing. So. Okay. So. Batman the Devastator. Again, I thought it was really good. And most weeks, this book would probably win. However, there was another book I thought was actually better than this. So this one doesn't win. It's, you know, a really good take on Batman. I love the whole idea of him being like Doomsday. And his reasoning here makes more sense than most of the one-shots did. Like I said, 2 or 3 of them I loved. Like Red Death I thought was awesome, and Murder Machine I thought was awesome. The other ones are not bad. My least favorite, however, is The Drowned. But, man, the motivation here I thought was really, really good. Hey, Nightwing, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Nightwing. But, like I said, any other week this would win. It pains me to do this. Batman the Devastator. I strip you of your bag and board, and I toss you into the multiverse. I'm not sure which one. There's many. There's many. There's at least 52, I believe. Because I believe the idea of the new 52 was based on the 52 multiverses. I think. I might have that wrong. I apologize. Oh yeah, this is Comicus, the comic book review talk show. Nightwing. So yep, that is what we're doing right now. So, next book we're going to look at is Clue! Issue 5. Again, I love the fourth wall breaking. I like the funny way that Scarlet ends up dying. Right there on the cover, Scarlet. Miss Scarlet, I believe it is, right? They use the same names they do in Clue, like, you know, Professor Plum and Mr. Strawberry. Mr. Strawberry, that's actually a Twin Peaks The Return reference. There is no Mr. Strawberry in Clue. But no, I thought it was good. I liked it. And I'm interested to see how it's all going to break down in the final issue. However, Clue 5. I strip you of your bag and board. Right here, you can hear him. And I take you and toss you into the conservatory with the candlestick. Next up, we have number 1 with a bullet. Again, by Image Comics. A very unique book. Again, I thought it was a little bit hard to follow. A little bit complicated. Again, I had to look through a few pages more than once to understand what was going on. I'm not afraid to admit that. I would rather do that before I talk about it than not. I will get issue 2, and it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't what I thought would be the, you know, what I feel is the winner this week. So, I strip number 1 with a bullet of its bag and board. And I toss it into augmented reality. Okay, everybody. That brings us to the actual winner of Comicus. And if you've been paying attention, you'll know that it is Batman White Knight number 2. Such a unique take on the Joker. One of the best I've seen in years. Sean Murphy has some really wild ideas. I look forward to the payoff a lot. I like the fact that there were 2 Harley Quinns. Joker goes to find Harley, and it's someone that we're, just like the animated series version of her, almost. The same type of mentality and everything. And we find out that's a second Harley. The other one comes in and kicks her ass, and that's the one that actually accepts Jack Napier. That's right, Joker now goes by the name Jack Napier. There's also a cool storyline part where Alfred is dying, I believe it is, and Mr. Freeze is working with Batman in order to find a cure. I'm pretty damn sure it's this book. I apologize if I'm wrong about that. I read so many Batman books that it does start to go together, and I do know that in Murder Machine, Alfred was dying too, so I do apologize. Things do run together, but I'm pretty damn sure it was that. The book focused so much on the Joker, it's hard to keep track of everything else because it's almost all Joker all the time. It's like the Joker channel. But regardless, it's well written, it's clever, and like I said, great take on the Joker. So it is the winner of Comicus. So it will actually ascend into the heavens and become a star. Oh, 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 oh. It's just breathtaking. Look at it. It's the Joker. Only not. There's Harley. What a fantastic, fantastic star. Just beautiful. Oh, Joker's gonna get a lot of money. And he's gonna get free. That's great. Okay, everybody, I want to thank you all for watching Comicus. You have been awesome, as you guys always are. Thank you very much. If you have any suggestions about books you want me to look at, I'll give you a couple moments just to type that in. But yeah, Batman White Knight's been awesome. We also might have a one-shot, real quick review just done randomly on Twitch for another Batman book, but I'm not exactly sure yet. I don't know how I want to do that. I don't know if I want other reviews outside of Comicus. I might have to, though, because Comicus isn't built to do trade paperbacks or graphic novels or anything like that. And that's just more of a straight-up review, not a battle, you know. They won't ascend into the heavens and become a star, no matter how good it is. That'd be kind of a nightmare, though. They do like a talk show with like 4 graphic novels. That takes so long to do, and so much to keep track of. My meager mind probably couldn't do it. Once a month, a trade paperback. Well, this is... I'll say it real quick. There's a Batman book that came out hardcover, Volume 1. Next volume comes out in the spring. And because I'm a fool, I can't remember the damn title. But it's like a 40 or 50 page book in hardcover, which is weird. It's like a comic released in hardcover. It's kind of like what they did with the third Dark Knight series that came out, called The Master Race. Each issue was also available in a hardcover. Just guess how much money that was. It's like $12 an issue. Now, you could obviously get it for $4 normally, just a regular book. But they also release special ones with cool black and white artwork and $12 an issue hardcover for every issue. I want to say it was 8 issues. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Okay, we don't have any suggestions for next week. I want to thank you all for watching. Again, you've been fantastic. And, yeah, this will be on YouTube on Friday. Yeah, thank you all very much. And next week, Comicus will return with 4 more books. Possibly The Batman Who Laughs. Because that's going to either come out, I think, next week or the week after. And I believe that is the last part of the Batman one-shots. The evil Batman one-shots, I guess we'll say. From Metal! Okay, everybody. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.